What type of partnerships have you formed?
So I think when you talk about forming partnerships and collaboration, it has to be mutual benefits and mutual goals and objectives that you're trying to reach. And so when you develop partnerships, it's important that you start from the base level of understanding what each partner and each group wants to get out of the specific issue or program or activity that you're taking place. So how do you how do you learn what someone wants, needs? How do they get out of it what they want? And so I believe that through our community coalition, we're able to identify common goals, common areas of interest to develop what we want to get out of a project. So if we're going into a neighborhood where we want to do neighborhood empowerment, neighborhood engagement, and neighborhood involvement, it's important that you talk to those residents and those folks that live in that area so they can tell you what their needs are and what their goals are and what their wants are versus us as a city or as a community coming in telling this neighborhood or this group, this is what we're going to do for you.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. That actually reminds me of one of the classes that I was taking, and they were talking about. I think it was actually for my internship class that I was taking, and they were talking about how they told a story about this water plant that was put into this village, and how this woman, even though the water plant was like 5 minutes away, she couldn't carry the 5 gallon bucket that was being asked of them. Like, this was like the only thing that they were allowed to get the water from. And her husband was always at work whenever they were open. So she had to do it. And because she couldn't carry it, she would go to the well down the street that didn't have as good of water. But it was because they never really consulted the villagers. They never really consulted any of the families to see, like, okay, how would this actually fit into your life? And how would this actually benefit you? So that's really amazing. I love that you guys take that kind of input. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's really important, and I think it's the difference today in true community engagement from an equity lens. It's bringing everyone to the table as equal partners and understanding where the weaknesses are, where the strengths are, and how you fill in those gaps and supports.
Mm-hmm. That's good. All right. Second question. When your organization forms a partnership, does it create a formal partnership agreement?
Well, it really depends on what the project is and who the partners are. So yes, if, for example, if we're doing partnerships with the school district, for example, we will do a formal MOU, memorandum of understanding, that guides again what each party wants or needs out of the partnership. We also do that with our university partners as well as other governmental entities. We don't do it as much when we're working with community-based organizations or individuals, um, but formal partnerships and collaboration where we have mutual agreements in place is how governments function here in our community.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How does your organization organize, finalize the partnership agreement, whether it is formal agreement or not?
Well, that's where lawyers come in. And so, you can talk about how and what you want to do, but formalized agreements, go through our legal departments to make sure, again, both sides are receiving the mutual goals and benefits that you're trying to achieve. So, and I believe there's value in formalized agreements. Again, when you're cost sharing, sharing of money, resources, having those formal agreements are important. Again, on the community side, it's a little less formal, and I believe that's important so that it allows for flexibility, creativity to address issues. And so I do want to just share that distinction between community groups and what we're doing with the community versus what I'll say is more governmental partners.